Hi, my name is Geert Vrolijks. I'm a sales representative for KPD Services. Welcome to this demonstration of the KPD Tendering software. With this solution, you can easily create bills of quantities, perform cost price calculation, sales price calculation, and create your quotations for your end customer. Welcome to the KPD Tendering software. First, we take a look around the screen and see what's happening. On the left-hand side, you have a menu. When we launch these menus, sheets are opened on the top of the page. This makes it very simple to move from one page to another page, or from one project to another project, or from a library to a project. All the normal functions that Windows supplies, like Control-C, Control-V for copying and pasting, Control-X for cutting. All these functions are working in the software. Let's see here. So I'm in the project sheet now. What you see here is a list of projects. Usually I use this project, master. When I double click a project, you will see a screen that supplies a lot of information about that project. For example, who are the clients of this project? You even have custom fields for special things that you want to save about a certain project. A project can have different versions if necessary. So if you want to calculate a different version of a price offer, you can just duplicate the project and make a new version. In a project, you can add multiple bills of quantities. Here in this case, I have 4 bills of quantities. The bills of quantities can be imported in a very simple way. That happens in this screen. So what I do is I open a folder on my server, on my system. I double click an Excel file and it gets opened here in the screen. The only thing I have to do in this blue bar is to tell the computer which information is in which column. And then I push the import button and the bill of quantities is imported. Now, the heart of the system is actually the calculation process, and that happens in this screen. What you see here is the list of lines that are imported from the bill of quantities, and under every line you can add a calculation to calculate actually the unit cost or the total cost of such a line. Now I have an example here, this one. I see there is a lot of resources used under that line to calculate the cost price. Resources can be labor, machines, materials, or even subcontractors. So if a construction company doesn't want to execute one of those lines, there is a possibility to launch price requests towards subcontractors. They can send in their prices. There is a possibility to compare those prices and then select the price or the subcontractor that we want to inject in the cost calculation. So the aim is to get a total cost and a unit cost for every line here in the screen. The next step after the cost price calculation is actually the placement of margins. Here you see an example with 4 margins. We can add those margins on a single line, on a group of lines, on a whole chapter, or on the whole document, the same margins. There is even a possibility to put margins on the resource category. So that means I can put a different margin on my labor than, for example, on my machines or on my subcontractors. So a lot of possibility to place margins, and The meaning is to actually create your quotation that can be offered to the customer. I show you one example. Preview. And here's an example of a quotation. You will see everything has a chapter, a unit, a quantity, and a price, and a total. This is very short how the calculation works. There are some other possibilities. For example, in the calculation, you have here in this ribbon a number of functions that allow the calculator to work more quickly or to work more efficiently. It will take us too long to go into detail about that. Other functions are, for example, searches. You can search in other projects pieces of calculation that you already did or lines that you want to reuse. It's an easy way to check your former work. And then to finish, we have a top sheet that's actually an overview of ratios and specific numbers about your project. Thank you for your attention. This was KPD Tendering. With these powerful calculation and management features, you not only increase the efficiency, but also the reliability of your quotations. For more information, please contact KPD.